Hey, welcome to this Windows channel, and this is a tech news update. We are Wednesday, February 1st, 2017. Interesting numbers. The first day of the month, we've got browser numbers. And in the browser numbers, which are very interesting to look at. First, let's talk about Microsoft Edge usage according to net market share for January. So, Edge is at 5.48% of browser usage, and it's up from 5.33 in December. You know what? Microsoft Edge is an interesting browser to look at because it increases slightly, but it increases all the time. So in 2017, it's going to be kind of interesting to see where it's going to position itself at the end of the year. Now, that is a year-over-year increase of 178%. Quite amazing when you think about it. Now, if we look at Internet Explorer, it's down at 19.71%. This is the below 20% bar, which is kind of an indication of your browser is not going well. So it's a year-over-year decline of 45% for Internet Explorer. I think people and companies are now ditching that browser as we move on. Google Chrome, 57.94%. That's up from 56.4%. That's a 1.5% increase. Very amazing in just 1 month. And it's a year-over-year increase of 165%. Google Chrome totally dominating the browser market now. So very, very amazing how they were able to really fetch that market. And it kind of shows us that that dominance of browsers by Microsoft isn't that great. I mean, other browsers can fetch market share, I think. Firefox, it's 11.77%. It's down from 12.22, so it's like a 5%, 0.5%, sorry, decrease. That's, Firefox has a lot of difficulty really increasing its market share now. And so we'll see what happens this year with that. Then we have Safari. Safari, pretty much stable at 3.4%. We also have others. Others, that is Opera, and all the rest is all, packaged in one number, which is 1.64%. So that's pretty much what we have. We also have Windows numbers, of course, first of the month. So what's the Windows usage in January of 2017? Well, if we talk about Windows 10, the market share for Windows 10 is 25.36% in January. That's up from 24.35 in December. It's a 1% increase, which is a pretty good one, and a year-over-year increase of 214%. So Windows 10 is doing quite good, actually. And I gotta say, I wouldn't be surprised that 1% jump also comes from the fact that a lot of PCs were sold in the holiday season, meaning that Windows 10 has increased because of that. Then we have, of course, Windows 7, still dominating a lot, but has a 1% drop. So it's at 47.2% in January, compared to 48.3% in December. So 1% drop, and showing that maybe Windows 7 is starting to decline a little faster. We'll see, of course, this year what happens with Windows 7. That throughout 2016 was pretty much pretty stable in the usage, we got to say. Of course, then we have Windows 8.1, 6.9% of usage, pretty much stable from December. We have Windows XP, that is still at 9%. Once again, this one is stable. It's been pretty much close to 9% all year. So Windows XP refusing to die there. We have Mac OS, so the Mac operating system, and this number includes only the latest version, 10.12, and the previous version, 10.11. That together, they make 4.5% of the operating system usage in January. It's probably a little higher because a lot of machines that have not upgraded are still using older operating system, like my Mac still using 10.7. And basically, Linux is at 2.24%. This one, very slight increase, but not enough to really be um, an interesting number because of the error margin in these numbers. So 2.24% for Linux in January, and so these are taken from visits to government websites. So it's pretty much everybody says that the number that we get from this net market share is closer to reality than any other numbers we usually get. Okay, OneDrive. If you are a OneDrive user and you are one of those OneDrive users that's still over their 1 terabyte limit, you got 1 month left before you will have to do something about it. Microsoft has issued its kind of a list of what they're going to do if you don't do anything. So if you're still over 1 terabyte in a month, you'll get a 3-month period where it's going to say you're over limit, but it's still going to let you do what you want to do, but it's going to nag you and tell you that you have to do something to lower this below 1 terabyte. And finally, after that 3 month, you will have OneDrive lockdown. That means your OneDrive will be locked, and you will have a one-time chance to unlock it for 30 days and do something about it. And if you do nothing about it, well, it's not really clear what's going to happen because Microsoft, being Microsoft, it isn't always easy to understand what actually they're trying to say. So, stay safe and just lower that OneDrive storage below 1 terabyte to make sure that everything is all right. Facebook is about to release in the next few weeks a set-top box app. So if you have an Apple TV of the last generation, if you have a Kindle Fire TV, if you have any device, Android device that is a set-top box on your TV, the NVIDIA Shield, it seems that Facebook is working on an app that will be on these devices to work on your TV. So that's going to be interesting if you want to have an app to go through Facebook. Well, this is John Kelly, which is in the Chief of the Department of Homeland Security in the United States. We were talking about how the United States plans to look at the social media and browsing history of U.S. visitors. Well, he just said, yep, that's what we want to do, and we're going to actually ask every visitor that comes and enters the U.S. to show us his social media and browsing history. I think this is a very big infringement on our privacy, first of all, and you know what? I think these are the best way of simply having a lot of people that probably wanted to go to the United States say, you know what, the hell with it. We're not going to go there anymore. I don't know. These people have such bad ideas that it's just amazing. And, we'll see where this goes. Well, it seems that you have good news if you're using OneDrive with ransomware. In a question that was asked to Paul Thurrott in the First Ring Daily podcast, a user was asking if ransomware can encrypt OneDrive files. And it turns out that yes, it can, but the response from Microsoft said that don't worry about it because even if it encrypted your OneDrive files, you have on OneDrive the possibility to get the previous files in kind of a file history thing. So that means your files will still be there intact. You'll just have to revert to these older files, which typically are the files that you had before they were encrypted. So that means if you're using OneDrive, you're pretty much safe from encryption problems due to ransomware. So that's kind of interesting. So maybe a good idea to put your files on OneDrive. Apple's iOS is actually Apple announced that in the next few weeks to months, they will just force everybody to do 64-bit apps for the iOS devices, iPad, iPhone. they say that they are removing the possibility of 32-bit apps to run on their devices. Now, there's a good thing about that. Of course, 64-bit apps will probably be a little faster, a little better. But what's maybe another weird thing here is that since 32-bit apps will stop working, those apps that don't update might actually stop working. So maybe you'll have apps that you're going to say, hey, there's no update for that, and I love that app and it doesn't work anymore. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Google Chrome engineer, we're talking this week. A developer at Mozilla Firefox said that, third-party antiviruses are horrible and that Windows Defender is pretty good. Well, now we've got another voice. A Google Chrome engineer says that Windows Defender is the only antivirus that is well behaved and that pretty much everybody should use that and stop buying or using other antiviruses. Now, you know what? This is the second announcement of that type in this week. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of antivirus companies are probably going a little crazy saying, what the hell? But you know what? That engineer says that when they are looking at how antivirus works, they say that Google Chrome actually gets plagued with much more memory usage. And basically, it's due to the fact that pretty much every third-party antivirus wants to install an add-on to a Chrome. And they say that it makes the browser so heavy that it just doesn't work well. And so, of course, his recommendation, use Windows Defender and it's all right. And finally, in our last bits of news, the new Macs are actually helping Apple have record sales on their MacBook Pro and Mac PCs. So that's good news because we know that for the past year and a half, Mac sales were really going down. But now, record sales of Mac computers thanks to the new Macs with the touch bar feature. So that's nice because it's a reverse of what was happening, and might actually make Apple think of working a little harder to make new Macs in the future. And it's going to be interesting because I also think of one thing, numbers of PCs sold in general. Because I'm thinking that maybe if Apple has, of course they had new Macs so people have refreshed their Macs, but I also think that maybe even the PCs with Windows are enjoying for the first time in a long time an increase in sales. So that's going to be interesting to look at when we get real stat numbers about that. So this was the Tech News Update for Wednesday, February 1st, 2017. If you enjoy our videos, why not subscribe? Give us thumbs up. You'll know when new videos are online. And if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, let us know. And thank you so much for following us on this channel.